Mr. Beast was not born into glory. He was carved out of filth, iron, and broken glass, a creature raised in the alleys where mercy died long before he could walk. His skin, once bare, became a map of sin. Full-body tattoos inked in prison cells and backroom parlors, each mark a confession of crimes too twisted to speak aloud. Mr. Beast lived for chaos and craved only flesh, a hardcore gay sex addict whose hunger was endless, reckless, brutal. He prowled the darkest corners of the city, trading sweat, blood, and violence in a whirlwind of nameless bodies and shattered nights. Love was a joke. He needed domination, needed the burn of rough hands, the sting of belt buckles, the taste of fear. Prison was a second home to him, a kingdom where he reigned by tearing men apart or bending them to his will in cells stinking of blood and spit. He filmed everything, the savage brawls, the desperate moans, the murders that painted the walls, and he kept the footage like holy scripture. One night, soaked in another man's blood and spit, Mr. Beast realized he could not be contained. He cleaned his face, wiped the rot from his mouth, and turned the lens onto a carefully crafted lie. The smiling giver, the generous king, the saint of the broken. The world swallowed it whole, never tasting the filth underneath. Every viral video, every staged miracle, was just a blood ritual, feeding a monster that would never be satisfied. Mr. Beast did not rise to power. He exploded into it, a beast made of sin, sex, blood, and the cold fire of a man who knew he could get away with anything because the world begged to believe the lie. Mr. Beast could not outrun the monster he built. His hunger, once tucked behind million-dollar smiles and viral thumbnails, mutated into something feral, something diseased. In the decaying guts of abandoned warehouses, he drowned in rivers of blood, hosting orgies of violence so savage that men left without eyes, teeth, or souls. He became a hardcore addict, not just to drugs, but to the brutal domination of flesh, luring men in with the promise of fame, only to rip them apart like meat. Contestants who thought they were playing harmless games found themselves shackled to bloodstained walls, skinned alive while Mr. Beast moaned in ecstasy, smearing their blood across his inked, rotting skin. His tattoos, once symbols of rebellion, cracked and oozed infection under layers of sweat, semen, and old gore. Prisons were nothing to him anymore. He used them like hunting grounds, breaking bones, spreading disease, feeding his endless craving for agony. Cameras hidden in the filth caught glimpses of horrors too sick to describe. Severed limbs stacked like trophies, torsos hollowed out and worn like wetsuits, faces peeled and nailed to the walls as screaming masks. Fans who once cheered his name fled in horror when the truth leaked, but by then it was too late. His empire crumbled into a cesspool of lawsuits, missing persons reports, and mutilated corpses. Alone, stinking of death and rot, Mr. Beast slithered back into the alleys that had birthed him. No longer man, no longer even beast, just a rotting, blood-hungry abomination, desperate to taste more flesh, to hear more screams, to carve new horrors into the endless, howling dark. They say Mr. Beast never really died. They say if you wander too deep into the dead parts of the city, where the lights flicker and the rats crawl over piles of old televisions, you can still hear him. They say he lives beneath the abandoned warehouses, his body a stitched-together ruin of scars, tattoos peeling off rotten skin, his breath stinking of blood, rot, and unholy hunger. Some say he lures desperate men into the dark with promises of fame, then butchers them with his bare hands, wearing their faces as masks for the few moments he still remembers who he used to be. They whisper that if you hear a camera click in the darkness, it's already too late. Mr. Beast is behind you, grinning with teeth sharpened by madness, dragging you into a pit of endless, blood-soaked games. Nobody wins. Nobody leaves. Only the sound of chewing and broken bones snapping echoes through the night. They say you cannot kill Mr. Beast because he no longer wants to live. He only wants to destroy, over and over, forever. If you ever hear a faint camera click in the dark run, it means he's already smiling behind you.